Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pager here once again with another video on, well, the DCU that's coming up, but also just DCTV because it's relating to DCTV. But yeah, as most of us should know, and it is, clearly been this way so far this year, it is a dry year across the board for both DC and Marvel. Now, DC, as we know it, is in a stage of transition from the old to the new under James Gunn and Peter Safran, with the first project, Creature Commandos, set to release at the end of this year, and the first major project, that of course being Superman, formerly Superman Legacy, that's currently filming and it's set for release in the middle of next year, roughly just over a year away. But, while all that is happening, we know there are multiple other projects across both film and TV, even video games actually, we'll include that. They're all in development with a fair few ready to be put into production over the next half a year to a year, roughly, so 6 to 12 months roughly. Supergirl appears to be the next film that's going to be put in production following Superman, and that's going to be releasing pretty much a year after Superman. So hopefully that's in production by the end of the year. It has a director, has a star, has its script, so hopefully that gets the ball rolling. And then of course Peacemaker, I forgot about that it started, filming season 2 already, but it seems that that's like bouncing around with its filming and not having a straight schedule of filming like you would expect with a TV show in regards to filming its episodes. We just know that some of episode 1 has been filmed by James Gunn so far, but the fact there hasn't been any other updates around that shows that it's going to be a bit of a sporadic thing, at least early on. But it seems, speaking of Peacemaker Season 2, that TV shows is where we will see the most production updates, you'd have to think, over the next year or so, as it seems more than a few are almost ready to go and are about to start filming. Now, though this isn't the main topic for this video, Booster Gold has rumoredly, is that a word? I don't know. Cast its lead actor, though that lead actor hasn't been announced as of yet, and it's reportedly finalizing its creatives behind the scenes, showrunner, writers, everything like that. And then a show like Waller is pretty much on its way to being ready to go as well. Now, of course, San Diego Comic-Con is in around 2 months from now, roughly. So maybe there is some information revealed there in regards to one or more of these projects. But that is a wait and see, as DC's presence hasn't been confirmed as of yet to be going there. And even if it is, we don't know if it will be a major reveal type of event for DC or just a place to show another trailer for Joker 2 and maybe the first trailer and look at Creature Commandos and then maybe something small from Superman. That could be all they do there. Once again, it's a wait and see, but they haven't confirmed or denied anything at this point. But over the past couple of days, roughly, we did get some major news about the upcoming Green Lantern DC TV show, otherwise entitled Lanterns. This will, of course, feature the DCU debut of Hal Jordan, as well as the DCU and just overall live-action debut of John Stewart. And it has been described by James Gunn as a bit of a space mystery in the vein of True Detective. Now, the news was confirmed over the past couple of days by James Gunn, and, it was rumored for the most part for quite a while now, since last year, that Damon Lindelof of Lost and Watchmen fame will be amongst the, the writers of the Lanterns DCU team. So that's been confirmed by Gunn. Now, Lanterns was probably... yeah, it was already probably my most anticipated project within this DCU, like the ones that we know are coming, before really any news had come out about it outside of the initial reveal from James Gunn over a year ago. But when this rumor of Lindelof being attached came around, it got me even more excited. Now, I didn't watch Lost. I've seen like the first season of Lost really, but that's it. And that's when it was like airing on TV back in the day and you'd catch little parts of it. That's when I saw it. So I haven't seen all of it. So I know some people don't like how that show ended. But I can't have any real connection to any thoughts around him and his creative basis off that, based off Lost, because I just didn't watch it. But The Leftovers, which Lindelof made, is probably in my top 3 shows of all time. It's that good. It's so good. Watch it if you haven't watched it and you want to get a feel of Lindelof. And also, his Watchmen series on HBO was great as well. So for me, I'm stoked he is a part of the writing team and just a part of the show as a whole, because it was already something I was really, really looking forward to without any names attached. And then he gets attached to it and he's like one of the top dudes, in my opinion, at least in regards to TV like series and like the limited aspect, as well as just something epic and a bit of a mystery and stuff like that. I think he's a really good choice to have a part of this show. But yeah, watch Leftovers if you haven't watched it, because a lot of people watched Watchmen, a lot of people have seen Lost, but go watch Leftovers if you haven't, because I think it's his best show. But alongside Damon Lindelof is also Tom King in the writer's room, and he is one of the, the architects, as they've been called, for James Gunn's DCU. And another one is Chris Mundy, who is behind Ozark on Netflix. Now, unfortunately, I haven't watched Ozark, but I've heard good things about that show as well. So I'm just going to optimistically, I guess, assume that he is a good addition to the show as well. But this is exactly what James Gunn had to say when confirming these 3 additions to the Lanterns DCU series. Yes, it's true. The Lanterns DCU series is putting together a crack team of writers based on a wonderful pilot script and Bible by Chris Mundy, Tom King, and Damon Lindelof. A hearty welcome to Chris and Damon Lindelof as they join the DC Studios family. No welcome necessary for old Tom King, who has been here nearly since its inception. So this is the big thing that people were saying, because it makes you wonder, well, hold on, are they just there for a bit of it, or are they there for the entire thing? So one term that's brought up here, which some people weren't necessarily sure what it means, is the Bible. What is the Bible? Now, we're not talking about Jesus Christ and the 10 Commandments and everything like that, though maybe that might be an aspect of the show. I don't know. The Bible they're referring to is a showrunner's Bible, which usually a show, you don't necessarily see it, like, I guess it maybe because of like, it's like maybe the character lore and stuff, but you do see it a lot with like when you have writers coming in and directors coming in from different aspects, and they have this Bible, like a showrunner's Bible, where it has different things in regards to storylines, character traits, the individual character storylines, and little things and pieces. Even something like how a room is designed and where certain things should be. Like, it's just pretty much everything you need to know about every single aspect of the show, every character, specific episodes and callbacks, whatever it is, it's within this. So it's pretty much meant to contain everything. So I would assume that they've really fleshed out in regards to specifically the characters, who they are, what they are, their backstories, not only between Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, but also villains, and maybe even how it connects to other projects before and after the show comes out. Because we don't know when this show will come out. Like, does it come out after Supergirl? Does it come out just before Supergirl? You know, where does it come out? Does it come out before Booster Gold? We don't know exactly where it goes and what it ties into and what it sets up. Is there going to be a season 2 of this show? If they're setting up a Bible, you'd assume so. It's not just some limited thing. So then it sets up a season 2, and maybe the season 2 connects with another Green Lantern. So it's Lantern. So then maybe the season 2 is about Kyle Rayner or something like that. I'm not too sure. So I like the fact that they're setting up a showrunner's Bible, because I think it's pretty important, but it just depends, like, to what extent. Like, is it just between this, and is this just a limited series? But if it is going to be this multi-season thing, then I think setting that up, especially with that group of Mundy, King, and Lindelof, and even planning out like how certain things in this first season, if it is just a first season, and we're going to get more after that, what is set up in this first season that might not play out until season 3 or 4, or something that might be set up and then revealed in another project later down the line, and it just works. But Gunn had also said that this was a project that was very important to the larger storyline that they're doing. So that could be what they're planning there. But another big question that people had was, are these 3 only writing the pilot? Is that it? Because that's what he said. It's based off a wonderful pilot script and Bible by those 3. But is that all they're doing? Because he also says, like, Gunn said in that thing that, now they're putting together a crack team of writers based off the pilot of those other 3 guys. So what's going on there? Do they just combine for the pilot, and then maybe they might write some individual episodes around it? Or do they just set the show up, and then some other lesser known writers, but obviously some writers of quality that Gunn's going to seek out, they come in and do the rest of the show? It seems like that might be the case based off this, but then maybe like you have Lindelof and Mundy, who are executive producers on the show, and then Tom King is also an executive producer, wrote the pilot, but maybe he sticks around, he's made like the showrunner or the head writer around it, and he writes some episodes there, because he's the only person who is attached to that architects team that I referenced earlier for this DCU alongside Gunn. So maybe he's the only person who writes past this pilot episode and stuff like that. Wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. Then Mundy and Lindelof are just advisors and executive producers and stuff like that. And maybe those 3 will write the finale, or 2 of the 3 will write the finale for this season. Wouldn't surprise me if that's the case, but I would be surprised if like Lindelof and Mundy, based off like their, prior credits, are writing too much of like the individual episodes. So they might just be producing. Now, obviously, when this is, it gets brought up a lot when this show of Lanterns is in the news, and that's the fact that they had the original HBO Max Green Lantern show that was in production for like pretty much just before COVID. I think it was like end of 2019. They announced it, or like middle of 2019. I can't remember when it was exactly. It was pretty much when HBO Max was just about to launch, and it was in like development hell. COVID didn't help. But if COVID didn't happen, that show would have been made. It just got delayed so much because of COVID. And then eventually just obviously the DCU came around. Now, A lot of people do wonder what would have been better. And the issue is that we don't know too much about this DCU show. We just know it's Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and there's a bit of like a space mystery. And now we know that these creatives are attached to it. That's it. We don't know too many story elements of it. While with the HBO Max show, like the original one that was by Belanti and stuff like that, had like Jeff Johns was a part of it. Seth Grahame-Smith was the showrunner, I think, who had, written the It movies, I think, and some other things like that. He was like the original guy attached to the Flash movie. We knew a bit about that. It was anthology, and we knew that was going to have like Guy Gardner as well as Alan Scott and some like Carl Rayner, I think, in it or something like that. There was a lot of different Simon Baz, Jessica Cruz. There was going to be like a lot of Green Lanterns in that show, and it's going to be very anthology. I like the sound of that more based off what we know so far, but that's because it's so limited that what we know about the DCU show. Like, I know we know like a decent amount of roughly what that HBO Max show that is now not happening would have been, and it sounded more exciting, but that's because we knew more. But also because we got to meet more characters, and I am still a tiny bit iffy about Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart debuting in the TV show, and then maybe them trying to put them into the movies, and it just depends how popular the show is. That's the only thing I'm slightly concerned about, but it's like a minor concern. It's not a major concern, like ringing the alarm bells. It's just something I'm like, maybe a movie would have been the better place to introduce these characters, but we'll wait and see how it goes. But that HBO Max show that was going to happen it's gone. We're not going to see it anymore. So I'm just going to look forward to this DCU show, and I'm excited so far based off who's attached and roughly what the show is going to be. So I'm excited for it. Now, in regards to casting announcements, now that we have these guys attached, I'm hoping we get something soon. Now, people are going to fan cast all the different characters and stuff like that. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? But I'd like to think before the final quarter of this year, might I say, so like around September, October, we probably know who's going to be playing these characters, just because I'd hope they'd be moving towards starting to film the show, because as soon as they start casting the characters, that's when you know, okay, they're getting close to filming, especially for a TV show. So, yeah. Who knows who they're going to cast? Everyone can do their fan cast. So we don't know if they're going to go for big actors because it is a TV show. Like, sure, it's streaming, but you just don't know if they're going to go for that larger thing. And if you look at James Gunn's casting so far for his DCU, he's not going for big names. He's going more for people that he thinks like character actors, I guess you could say, and can play these characters. He's not looking for, I guess, star power and saying, oh, it's this, well-known actor playing this character. He's looking for a person that fits the character in his eyes, which you can agree with and disagree with. I've disagreed with some of his casting so far, but I don't hate them to the point of like, I'm boycotting this thing. It's like, whatever. So the casting announcements, they'll come. I just hope it's sooner rather than later, just because, as I said, it means that the show is going to start filming sooner if we get the casting sooner as well. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome. Could drop a like and show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts and everything we went over. Always curious to read what you guys are thinking. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.